Once again, I'm explaining. So this is not my account. See, let's see, I'm clicking on sign in. So whenever you provide sign in some account, we will get this kind of issue. Okay. No need to feel any kind of, no need to afraid, like మనం భయపడాల్సిన అవసరమే లేదు. No need to afraid for this. What we need to do is, again, we need to go with as a starting phase. Starting phase. Here, instead of clicking sign in, you can click on register. It is actually bug from SAP. Like you need to click on register. Again, whenever too much slow, whether it is network issue or like a SAP issue. So automatically it will ask your mail ID. Like whenever your mail ID has entered, then it will coming into this phase. So click here to try. Go to trial account as usual, like a yesterday phase environment. Go to trial account, like under trial, this you need to choose it. Here trial account, under trial also it is trial account. Select then you need to go with the instances and subscriptions. So here it will show it as a bash, business application studio. Business application studio. This you need to click on open. Under this, it will ask it as your dev space, development space. Like this default as usual, as I said, after 1 hour, 2 hours, it will go with the automatically off. Like we need to run. It came with the starting mode. We need to wait till the state it is coming to running. ఇక్కడ రన్నింగ్ అనే వచ్చేంత వరకు వెయిట్ చేయాలి. It is taking this much time. Usually it won't take this much time. It will take hardly 2 minutes, not more than that. Okay, it came with running mode. So you need to click on open. Okay, so let's see. This is the environment it will open to us. So first, what you need to do is you need to click on this like a 3 lines. Here it is having file, new project from template. Here, like a first option, 3 lines, file, new project from template. Okay, if you choose it, listen, మనం కావాలంటే notes రాసుకుందాం మళ్ళీ. Listen. If you choose it, like then it will show it as a several kind of things. So here, if you observe, it is showing multi-target, SAP Wi-Fi legacy, CAP project. It is Fury generator, Wi-Fi adoption. Like it will show that several projects. Right now, which project we are developing? CAP. So we need to select that CAP project. Click on start. Okay. Next, it will ask it as a CAP project name. CAP project name. Let's see what is our project. What is our project name? Let's see. Here I am mentioning batch 4. Batch 4. See, as we discussed, the CAPM, it will support it as 2 languages. Like one is Java, second one is Node.js. These are the languages. The runtime languages are Java, Node.js. So by selecting the project, by creating the project itself, we will go. So now we are selected here, it as a Node.js. Node.js. So now, like a database and all, if you want to select, you can select it. Like if you don't want to select, you can leave it the initial phase. Usually we can use it as a S4 HANA, and like this deployment project basis, we can use it as a cloud foundry. Usually we can use these 2 kind of things. So if you want to enable this kind of stuff, you can enable it. If you don't want to enable this kind of stuff, you can leave it. It doesn't matter. So just for your understanding purpose, I'm not enabling that 2 options right now. Okay. So now what we need to do, click on finish. It is installing the dependencies. Project is creating to us. What is our project name? Batch 4. This is our project, batch 4. Right. In this, if you observe, as usual, it is generated some kind of files. Like whenever you are created project, it is as usual, it is generating some files, some folders, some files, folders, blah, blah, blah things it is generating to us. Okay. So now, as we discussed in yesterday class or day before yesterday class, in this like a CAP project point of view, the important folders are 3. Important folders are 3. What is that? Application layer, SRB layer, DB layer. So These are the three layers here it is available. App layer, SRV layer, DB layer. DB, SRV, app. Three layers, it is three folders, it is available. Usually these three folders are empty now. Why? Because of we haven't made any kind of stuff. These are the empty folders, empty folders. Like whenever you create CAP project, automatically it will coming with this structure. Okay. Next here, if you observe node modules, node modules. So for developing this project, whatever the Node.js modules it's required, all the Node.js modules here it will be available. That default it will take. We no need to do any kind of thing. Okay, default it will take a default it will take a like a bindings, anything like a, it is a default, it will show that information to us. Default script. Like we no need to touch, we no need to make any kind of changes here. దీన్ని మనం చేంజ్ చేయము, టచ్ చేయము. Okay, it's a node modules. In case the node modules, if it is not installed proper, then we can like try to reinstall the node modules. But like we won't touch any kind of operations on node modules basis. Okay, clear? Any question? All right. So next one is like it's a gen, a dot gen. Like here if you observe, like it's a CAP project generated, which based on which version it is generated, like some kind of high level information it will display to us. It's we can say that log paragraph, we can use it, such kind of information. Okay, so like here we no need to focus this kind of folders. We need to focus on app, DB, and SRV. Keep heading CAP project architecture. CAP project architecture. The CAP project majorly it will divide it into three layers. The CAP project majorly it will divide it into three layers. Three layers. DB, first one DB, second one SRV, third one app. DB, SRV, app. First keep heading DB. 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 In this layer, we will create entities and in between entities, we will made, we will make, or we will made relationships. Relationship. Like listen. So this is DB layer. Name itself, it is having DB layer, DB database. Database usually what we can create, what we will do, we will create it as a tables between like a tables. If we want like assume if it is large scale project, we can create it as a multiple tables. Between the tables, we will build it as a relationships. So here in CAPM point of view, the tables we can call it as a entities. The tables we can call it as a entities. It's an object-oriented language. So we are using Node.js, right? So now that Node.js point of view, here we can call it as an entity. So the same, it's an entity is nothing but table. Entity is nothing but tables. So the tables basis, like we can make it as a columns. So like I assume I have here 2 to 3 tables it is there. Between the 2 tables, if like I need to build the relationship. So we can use that relationships. We can create it as a entities. We will build it as a relationships. That is the major concept we can implement under entity layer. Under under DB layer. DB layer. Okay. Next one, keep heading SRV layer. SRV layers. SRV layer, we can use to project the data. To project the data. Next continuation. For projection, for data projection, we can use OData, OData, అక్కడ ఉంది చూడండి, బోర్డు మీద ఉంది చూడండి, OData or REST APIs. Or REST API. REST API. What is OData? What is REST API? We will see it. Okay, for data projection, we can use REST API or OData. OData. OData or REST APIs. REST APIs. Next, it is an intermediate layer. It is an intermediate layer between app and DB. It is an intermediate layer between app and DB. App and DB. App and DB. It is an intermediate layer between app and DB. Next point. In SRV layer, we have 2 files. First one is service file, service.cds file, CDS file. First one is service.cds file, CDS. మీరు ఇక్కడ బోర్డు మీద ఉంది అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే service.cds. Second one is service.js. Service.js. Okay, listen, no need to write it. Listen. So service.cds, just we can use it as a like to projecting the data projection purpose. We can use it as a service.cds. Okay, service.js we can use to make it as a custom business logics. Service.js we can use like to made custom business logics. Let's say, for example, whose is less than 18, I don't want to allow this table. Like whose like name starts with yes, I don't want to allow this table. Okay, like we need to prepare some logical columns. So such kind of conditions, each and every conditions we will made under this kind of story. Business logics. Okay, so calculations and all we will made it under SRV dot services.js file. This is the file only JavaScript. Manam rase JavaScript, like I said it as a we need to learn JavaScript. So this is the file. This file we will see in last 10 days of class. Meanwhile, we won't touch this file. A file to manik pane undadu. Okay, we will touch like a last 10 days of syllabus. Clear? Any questions? It's the same project. See, we are projecting for app layer. We are projecting the data for app layer. App layer, it will take and give to the user. So for that, we can use it as this kind of. So single OData service, single SRV layer, you can use in multiple projects. Single SRV layer, single SRV services. You can, if you want to use, we can use it as a multiple projects for front end. Okay, like if we want to use app 1, app 2, app 3, like that, we can able to make it multiple projects. Clear? Okay.
So whole app project, the main like changes will happen in JS script only, right? SAP JS. And compared to like I'm asking about all the 3 layers, DB, server, and
No, it's a depends. Like, see, it's we won't judge like the major changes. It is happen only on JS file. The major changes only are like a DB layer and basically the DB layer will be fixed once the application. If you take any kind of application, if we create again and again, keep on. We won't change the structure of tables, right? So, like if you take any kind of application, any application, you can take a regular basis, which we can use student hall ticket number, student registration form. Like the student registration form, keep on, we won't change it as the fields, right? So, like the DB layer will be fixed. Like you need to do it as some kind of calculations. Calculations we can implement under DB layer also. DB layer also we can implement calculations. DB layer we can implement calculations. SRV layer also we can implement calculations. So for the calculations, like all the places we can change the code. So especially in JS, we can implement it as a data validations. data validations. Okay, this particular person only it need to allow the information. Like his name, it is having 8 characters. Let's see, I'm saying the example. Like his name, it is having 8 characters of length. Then only it need to allow. The person whose salary is like 10,000, more than 10,000, then only it need to allow. The person whose is between like 18 to 40, this person's only allow. Okay, so like based on the salary column, I need to create it as a 10% hike. That I can made it in DB layer, I can made it in SAP layer, both the places. These custom business logics we can implement only on top of JS layer. Got it right? Now I want like a is less than or equal to 18. I don't want to allow these people. That we need to implement only under JS file. అది ఇంకా మనం ఎక్కడ డెవలప్ చేయలేము. జేఎస్ ఫైల్లోనే డెవలప్ చేయాలి. బట్ లాజికల్ కాలమ్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలంటే నువ్వు ఎక్కడైనా క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. డిబి లేయర్లో అయినా క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, ఎస్ఆర్వి లేయర్లో అయినా క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. వాటిని ఏమంటామంటే క్యాల్కులేషన్ వ్యూస్ అంటాం, వ్యూస్ క్రియేట్ చేయడం అంటాం. If we create in DB layer, that we can create it as a views. If we come to JS layer, again JS layer only. That is, there is no other name. Clear? Any questions? Next, keep hitting app layer.
Serious transfer.
Core data services. We'll go. We'll see. Okay. Next one, keep heading app layer. App layer is a front end. App layer is a front end environment. Which will user access. Which we can use the user. Which this you can use the user. Or else simply you can write like this. This layer used by user. This layer used by user. Okay. So next point. To developing this layer, we can use UI5 and what it is there. UI5 are Fury elements. Fury elements. UI5 are 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 Fury elements. Fury elements. UI5 are Fury elements. See here, UI5, like this Fury elements, it's again 1 month, 1.5 month course. Okay, so in this course, we will cover with Fury elements. Like that is very simple language. UI5, if you want to learn, it's again 1.5 month, 2 months course. That is separate course, separate team it is have. I will give like some fundamentals of UI5, as I said, demo class basis. I will give some fundamentals, like one small page I will create it, and I will explain how we can interlink with this kind of application for UI5 also. Like Fury elements, we will go with like most of the syllabus. Fury elements, we will go with most of the syllabus. Okay, so there may be the chances like in few of the projects they will use it as a UI5, few of the projects they will use it as a Fury elements. So such a reason we will go with both the things. You need to say the same story on interview point of view. I'm not Fury developer. If they ask more on interview point of view, right now itself I'm saying, if they ask more on Fury elements or UI5, you need to say that I'm the CAPM developer. I'm not Fury elements, Fury developer, but I have the knowledge on top of Fury and UI5. So whatever the things we will discuss, that you need to explain on interview point of view. Is it clear? Any questions, any doubt? Okay. So next one is keep heading package.json. Package.json. This is the file. Package.json. So this file will provide, write it. This file will give the information or provide the high level overview of high level overview of high level overview of high level overview of the project. It means what are the components we are using. What are the components which we are using? What are the components which we are using? And what is the versions of it? What is the versions of it? And what is the versions of it? And what are the commands is useful to execute this project? and what are the commands is useful to execute the project. Okay, listen. Here it is having like we have created it as a batch 4 project. Version initial made up changes 1.000, some blah 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 kind of it is there. Description, like at the time of creation, if you want any kind of description, you can make it. That it is up to your wish. If you want right now also, you can change it. These dependencies is nothing but components. These dependencies is nothing but components or softwares. These things. Like here we can use it as a CDS language. Here we are using it as a like default. It is having the SQLite database. Like we are saying regularly is for HANA, right? So default it is having SQLite. If you haven't selected any kind of database, default it is having SQLite. So this script, see here it is there, right? That under this they will mention it as a which are the commands to execute that projects in real time point of. We will see deeper and like upcoming classes. So right now you need to go with the overview. I'm going with overview of all the files. Here in real time basis, like what are the commands is useful to execute that particular project, that they will mention under these scripts. Okay, the scripts basis they will mention it as a like a to executing the environment like a project basis. What are the commands it is useful that they will make it. Okay, clear? Up to this, any questions?
So there we haven't given the any DB, right? It is taken by default SQLite. Can we change now to S4HANA?
Yes, you can change it. Here we can add the dependencies. Dependencies is nothing but that components only that we will add it. And based on that, we will move it. We will add it. So initial basis, that is the reason I haven't added any kind of stuff. Going one by one, we will add into this project point of view. Whenever we will add, automatically it will add into the project. Sorry, package.json. Whenever we will add for the specific environment basis, automatically it will go with as this kind of stuff. So here, before going to next class. So next, like here, this is the environment same like as Visual Studio. Visual Studio code. Okay, the same code, whatever the thing here we will from whatever the things we will do here, that things if you want to execute, you can execute in Visual Studio code also. ఇక్కడ చేసేది ప్రతి ఒక్కటి కూడా మీరు విజువల్ స్టూడియో కోడ్ లో కూడా చేసుకోవచ్చు. విజువల్ స్టూడియో కోడ్ లో కూడా చేసుకోవచ్చు. బట్ ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి విజువల్ స్టూడియో కోడ్ కి ఇక్కడికి అంటే, విజువల్ స్టూడియో కోడ్ పోతే ఇప్పుడు మీరు Node.js అనేది ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఇన్స్టాల్ అయిందా? Node.js లైబ్రరీస్ అనేది అన్ని ఇక్కడ తీసుకునిందా? Node modules automatically it has taken. But if you go with the Node.js, sorry, on-premises platform, you need to install the Node.js first. Node.js అనేది మీరు ఎక్స్టర్నల్ గా ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోవాలి. మీరు మీ ఓన్ గా ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోవాలి. అండ్ సెకండ్ థింగ్ వచ్చేసి ఇక్కడ ఏంటి అంటే ఈ ఫోల్డర్స్ అనేది అన్ని కూడా అక్కడ ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ జరగవు. దిస్ యూ నీడ్ టు క్రియేట్ బై ఫోల్డర్స్ one by one. This all the external configurations you need to made by your own. Visual Studio Code. అదే ఇక్కడైతే మనకి ఏమవుతాయి అన్ని ఆటోమేటిక్ గా ఫామ్ అవుతాయి. అర్థమైందా? క్లియర్? ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్స్?
So here, actually, while creating the project, we didn't selected the database, right? If we select that HANA database, then automatically it will fetch here, na?
It will show automatically here.
Okay, even manually also we can add now also, right?
Even though manually also we can add it.
So here in coding, we need to add, or in UI, we can enable that?
No,
Or
we need to use the command CDS add HANA.
okay, okay. Now in UI, we cannot do anything, right? If we enable the edit enabled also, it will not appear here.
No.
Correct?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Now, once you created the project, then you need to go with the command prompt basis, commands basis.
Okay.
It's a very simple command, CDS add HANA.
Okay.
CDS add cloud phone. That it's a very simple statements. We will go with that command through commands. Okay, if it is complex, then we will go with that initial phase options and that. So now it is very simple kind of tool. We will see in upcoming classes.
Sure.
Clear? Any questions?
No, from my end.
Right, clear? Up to this, you can do the practice, package creation, environment and all. We will see tomorrow class how we can create it as a entity. How we can create table here. That we will see on tomorrow. Okay? Yeah. Okay, guys. We'll meet on tomorrow.